X-Men issue 4 sees the world's leaders converge in Switzerland for the World Economic Forum, where this year the mutant nation of Krakoa has been invited. Xavier, Eric, Apocalypse, Scott and Gorgon arrive at the meeting, and Scott is told that he and Gorgon will have to wait outside the convention due to security measures. The head of security says that Gorgon must surrender his swords, which Gorgon finds amusing, since the man looks at him and thinks that the blades are the weapons. Charles and the others, meanwhile, are taken to the dining hall that has been arranged for all of the leaders. The mutants introduce themselves to the gathered people as they toast to peace. Elsewhere, a team of soldiers is gathered in wait, with one frustrated by the devices they need to wear to keep Xavier out of their minds, removing it if only for a second. This is long enough for Xavier to sense them, psychically telling Scott and Gorgon of the men, ordering them to take them out. The gathered delegates discuss what the mutants aim to do, and Eric says that they have all been upfront with their intentions, but he doesn't know what comfort he can give them if Krakoa existence becomes untenable. The Wakandan delegate says that a nation will act in their own best interest, and they have seen what Krakoa is trying to do before, and it would be dishonest to think that they haven't done it before either, but they always find a way around it. Eric thinks that Wakanda wants to open trade deals, but the delegate says that they will need to settle for more familial relationships like kings and queens for now. Talk turns to trade deals and how Krakoa is still closed, making the delegates wonder how they can trust a nation who hides away. Cyclops finds the soldiers as talk turns to Krakoa's miracle drug and how a weekly regimen of the drug isn't necessary. Eric thinks that they are wrong and the drugs have a cascading effect, and the way that Krakoa has formulated them negates those effects. Cyclops battles the soldiers as Eric says that even if they gave them the drugs in the most profitable manner possible, it really wouldn't fit in with the 3 pillars of Western prosperity that they all live by. Talk turns to the mutants breaking with human tradition, as humans teach children to rewrite and relearn history, but mutants will teach them to never forget it. One of the men doesn't care for things like the Bronze Age, but Apocalypse says that he was alive during it, and he should care since he was the one who caused its collapse. Eric reassures them that there will be no war since mutant methods have changed, since there was a time where he himself would have used nations' weapons against them, showing them how strong Magneto is. But he and mutants have learned from the humans' quiet weapons of finance and influence. Cyclops and Gorgon continue to finish off the soldiers, cutting off their limbs and incapacitating them, as Eric knows that the people leverage people with debt and make them pay to be healthy and whole, so that's how they own them, and upon seeing that, mutants will do the same, only better, and they will use the money they have to buy the humans' banks and schools and media and politicians. Once the mutants get the influence, Eric says that they will use it, getting rid of the wrong sort of people and burn out all of the outdated, dangerous ideas. As he compliments the chef on a wonderful meal, Scott contacts Charles, who tells him to wrap things up. Gorgon meanwhile finishes up with his lot of soldiers, telling the wounded men that he finally knows what a real warrior is like. He tells the soldiers that in the old days he would have taken the man's head, but in these new days he is led by a brilliant mutant who understands war better than he ever could, knowing it's better that they are left limbless now with the shame of what they are. Eric meanwhile tells the other delegates that one of them has brought soldiers to fix things if they didn't go his way, and since he keeps touching the communicator in his ear, he guesses things aren't going the man's way. The man says that the others need to hear him since the mutants aren't hiding what they are and what they want, and they cannot be trusted. Xavier says that it only took them 1 month for the humans to send someone to kill him, but he can't be killed, at least not by the likes of humans. He removes his helmet, saying he hasn't given up on the dream of mutants and humans living together in peace, and while the last few months have been educating for him, he won't give up on that dream, and he knows the humans will never stop trying to kill him. The man says that Xavier admitted calling the world his, and Xavier says that humans need to evolve and adapt. Donning Cerebro, Xavier warns them that this is the last time anything like this will ever happen, as Eric tells the group that the mutants have never been in this situation before, but they will learn quickly. The X-Men leave, and Eric warns them if they try again, they should expect a response. X-Men issue 4 finally saw the mutants take to the world stage properly, this time in a meeting of nations. I really loved how most of the issue was Eric talking on behalf of Xavier about the mutant nation's needs, wants, and demands. It was all perfectly worded against Scott taking down a human cell looking to take Xavier out, again proving their point that humans can't really be trusted and continue to do this self-destructive circle. The sinister overtones are all still there like they were in House and Powers of X, and I'm still wondering if maybe there is something that Xavier isn't giving them the full picture of, or maybe Moira behind closed doors is manipulating things a little bit. We all know Apocalypse is up to something, so it's not a fair stretch to say that these other people aren't up to it either. I look forward to diving deeper into the workings of Krakoa and details surrounding the world's reaction to them becoming a nation and what exactly that means for certain people and certain nations. I'm going to give this issue a 9 out of 10.